There's a lot of drama going on in the ZENLESS Zone Zero sphere right now, and there's a lot of people getting upset about the game and saying they hate the game, they think it's bad, etc., and they're just giving excuses that just literally don't make sense. I don't understand why gacha players, they choose a game that they just want to hate randomly, and they choose one that they just want to love randomly for no reason. It's just weird to me. Gacha players are the most privileged gamers on the planet. We're getting full finished live service games that update for free. We have games out here that are charging $100 just for a game that's not even finished. It doesn't even have basic mechanics in the game. I'm talking to you, Pax. But anyway, I just feel like, dude, it's a free game. Just play it. If you don't like it, don't play it. But why do people have to get upset and cry and moan? So what are people saying about the game that's just so bad? Well, the main things I've seen is people said the menus are bad. The open world is empty. The story is bad. The TVs and the combat. So I'm going to go through and prove all of those wrong right now because I'm sick and tired of gacha players just saying stuff. Let's get into it. The menus are perfectly fine. This game is one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. I mean, graphic design wise, art wise, but I will give to you, the sub menus are an issue. There's too many sub menus. You click in, I don't know, let's go here, right? And there's like so many sub menus, right? There's notifications, there's this, you click here. I get that. But saying that it's bad, it looks bad, it's terrible, is stupid. You are stupid if you think this looks bad. It's literally I'm trying not to swear, one freaking row. The colored ones are where you spend money. How do we know this? Well, let's click it. Well, wow, that's the battle pass, right? And I'll be real with you. The more menus, the more rewards. That's just how these games work. Okay, so you want more menus, right? You click the colored one. Oh, wow, this is where you spend money. You know, like it's that simple. Like, why are we complaining about dumb stuff that don't even matter, right? And then you click here, you go. Yo, wait a minute, hold on. Okay, a 10 pull. Hey, and we getting 10 pulls. You know what? Go ahead and claim that. You know, we get a free 10 pull too. Come on, how can you hate this game? They're copying Woo. They say, oh, generosity works. Well, I'll be damned. Look, you know what? Video over. That's it. They gave us a free 10 pull. I don't need to say nothing else. That's going to conclude the menus. I want to move on to another topic about the open world because I feel like this one is so stupid. It's so dumb. We're gonna go over the open world. This is the most lively open world I've ever seen in my entire, not in my entire life, okay? But it's up there. It's top 3. Obviously, this game is trying to go for like a Persona vibe, right? And I'll be real, this is like the most single player gacha that I've ever played. And I don't really know how to explain that entirely, but it just feels like a single player game. You don't really even need to spend money. They give you enough characters. So why are people complaining about stuff like this? Like all of the NPCs have life to them. They don't look like NPCs. Like look at this, like look at this character. Like, can I zoom in? There we go. Look at this, is amazing. What are we talking about? Like, look at her, right? You could talk to them. Like, come on, bro. What are we talking about? There's people of interest, right? So we're gonna go here, right? Like plenty of games that do this, right? Like you have like a person that works on this and you get to know them. There's life in this game. So what are we talking about? The open world is bad. You know, and matter of fact, let's just go to the actual main open world. How is this not good? This is like a fully fledged room that you have. Now, it would be cool if you can decorate this sometime or something like that. But I mean, you get a room. There's not much you could do in there, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, come on, bro. Like, what are we talking about? You own us. Look at this. We got employees working for me. How is this game bad? Right? Like, okay, hey, what's up? You know, is you pulling in that revenue? Huh? Is you pulling in that revenue? Like, come on, bro. We got bang boos working for us. How is the open world terrible? What are we talking about? Go ahead and make me some money. Go ahead. Let's go. Make me some cash. All right. All these games have semi-terrible stories. I think the writing in this game is actually pretty good. It's just, it's surrounded by too much fat and they just need to cut the fat off and just give us the protein. They actually have like a semi-funny clip that made me chuckle a little bit, right?
It's only been a couple of days and yet our child has become a fabulous young lady. No, don't blame yourself. It's not your fault. In fact, I should congratulate you.
Now wait just a minute, Grace. Think about what you're saying.
Oh no! Grace might know everything about machinery, but she's single as hell!
Not a bad clip there, but I'll be real. Why are you subjecting yourself to boredom? You could just skip the story. I've skipped the story. Now, I wish they would add like a summary when you actually skip so you can understand what's happening. I don't know why they don't do that. You don't have to listen to the story. You could just skip and play the game and you could still kind of understand what's going on. And that's how all these games work. HSR skipped the story. Genshin, I skipped the story. Woo, I definitely fucking skipped the story. So like, why are we trying to use this as like a crush and be like, oh, the game's bad? This is the worst part of the game. But to defend it, what's the difference between this and Sim Universe? What's the difference? There is no difference. I would argue this is a better alternative to Sim Universe. In the story, it is really, really bad. But once you kind of get out of that tutorial zone, it really just becomes a mini games mostly. I don't think it's a big problem. It just becomes like a quicker sim universe where you go through, you get your upgrades, you go to the shop, and then you can just go fight the boss, or you could just skip all of it, honestly. So I think the beginning is the issue where they kind of put you through this slow muck. They really need to update that and fix that. But I think people are justified. The TVs are terrible. They just really are. But when you get to the core game, they're really not an issue at all. Y'all got to put that speed meter in the TVs X10, because that sometimes that stuff, it could just get so tedious and annoying. So I'll actually agree with the community that TVs are terrible. They are. But I do think the idea of the TVs are good, and in areas of the game they actually work. Now I think what they should do is just reconstruct all the TVs to be short mini games instead of this whole chase thing. Like there's a mini game where you gotta like push the squares into the train. It takes like 15 seconds. Like I don't think that's bad. But the ones where you gotta like, oh, you gotta like get this and you gotta chase the evil bang boo around. Like I'm not trying to do all that, bro. Okay. So I'm with y'all on this one. Now we're about to do some comparisons here. So Woowa versus this game. Now they're not the same game at all, but a lot of people want to say, oh, the combat is bad. Oh, really? I'm about to prove you absolutely wrong. Now, there is an aspect of the combat that is bad, which I'll get to in a second. But even Woowa on drop, people tried to hate. Oh, this game's terrible. It's bad. But guess what? They dropped them rewards. Now everyone loves the game. And I think this game needs to do that because that's how you speak to gacha players. So people can get mad at what they want, but I just feel like they can never back up why they think the way that they think at all. So let's talk about the combat, because now I'm about to show you something that's a little crazy. Now, what I'm going to do is compare exactly these games. So I'm going to compare the button presses and everything. And I'll be real, if you still don't agree with me, here's what I want you to do. I want you to record your hands playing Woowa, record your hands playing this game, and post it on YouTube, because I bet you they overlap 1-to-1. So I'll prove to you right now. Let's do this. So I'm going to just go here and I'm going to hold the mouse up. So this is in ZENLESS Zone Zero. So let's just spam. Okay, now we're going to do Wuthering Waves. How is that any different than what I just did? Like, what am I doing mechanically that's any different from ZENLESS? So how is this different? Now, yeah, this character, she has a dragon. That's really cool. I'll give you that. But come on, like, stop it. Okay, just stop it. Now we're going to do another one. Okay, we're going to do another one. So let's do the parry or dodge. We're going to wait. Okay. Right. Wow. Look at that. Hey, bro, move. So let's go to an enemy. Oh, crap. It's two of them. All right. And we're going to do a little dodge here. If I could dodge it right. I can't tell where it's coming from. How is that it's the same animation, pretty much the same sound too. How is that different? And I'll be, oh, you know what? Let's do intro outros while we're at it. Okay.
Banish all bugs.
Okay, that's the intro outro. The equivalent of intro and outro in ZENLESS Zone Zero is pretty much the chained abilities. Now I'm gonna have to go and actually put a character in here so we can do the chained abilities. So give me a second. Right, and here's our chain attack, as you can see. Look at that, and it just keeps going. It just keeps going. Like, how is that not good? All right, let's move on. Since we're here, let's just go ahead and do an E ability, and we'll compare it to Wuthering Waves, right? So with this character, you have to pretty much spam the E, right? Okay, this is her E. That's the E ability. So now we're going to do the E in Wuthering Waves. Now for this character, to spam it, you have to spam auto attacks in order to unlock the rest of her abilities. Right now I'm spamming E, like I'm literally spamming E, right? And these other characters, they just have one ability, right? That's fine. But you have to literally mash to unlock her other abilities, right? You'll see, I'll get a new one, right? Look at this. You see how it's comboing now? So what is the difference between that and what I just showed you in ZENLESS Zone Zero? So now what I want to do is actually show you the alt in ZENLESS Zone Zero, and then I'll show you the alt here. All right, so let's go ahead and do her alt. We'll just press it once. There's the alt. You just press a button and then you go into like a cutscene or image sequence. Oh God. All right, so let's go ahead and do Wuthering Waves. So here's her ultimate. Okay, I'm gonna just press it. You just press one button and it does the dragon, it does a crap load of damage. So like, how is that any different? And I also want to show the bang boos. Now I do think the echoes are slightly cooler than the bang boos, but the bang boos are like a cute version, and there's more variety. So let's go ahead and look at those bang boos. So let's go ahead and go to the remodeling shop and we can look at these bang boos. Okay, and I'll be real, the bang boos are an extra. They're not really artifacts in this game. They're just an extra bonus you get, which I think is actually better, which means it has more mechanics than Woowa. And again, I'm not saying Woowa is bad. I'm not saying the combat is bad. I'm directly comparing them. So you can see the bang boos, they give you an actual buff, right? They have damage multipliers, and also they have unique like visuals when they follow you around. Like some people will give you a pancake, some people will carry around missiles. Like they just do really cute stuff. So like, I don't understand how we're saying that this is bad or like this combat is bad. It's actually a lot more complex than you think. Oh, wow, look, it's an avocado. But anyway, I think that's all I need to show you. I think I've proven that it's not bad. Now, I will say this, people that are saying that the combat is bad, I think what they actually mean is the enemies are bad. Because in Wuwa, although it's the same button presses, it's the same exact buttons you press to activate abilities, and you mash as well. You strategically mash because you can't just mash in Wuba. You have to actually think about, okay, I need to parry, I need to dodge this enemy or I'll get one shot, right? I have to use my ability here. I have to use an outro. So there's a lot more thinking that goes on. But in Zenless, you can just get away with just spamming because the enemies don't move. And when they hit you, they don't really, it's a tickle. They don't even do nothing, right? So I get that. But saying the combat is bad, it's just not. And I think they can update the damage on the enemies. I think all it takes is for the enemies to nearly one-shot you in order for this combat to be really, really good in the public eye, right? So I don't know. I think that's what people actually mean rather than saying just the combat is flat out bad, because it's just not. And on top of that, the camera works.